Take a walk on the wild side in the Palm Beaches. Ecotourism is big business in Palm Beach County. From lions to loggerheads, our resident wildlife population is one of the things that makes the Palm Beaches a special place to visit. Aquatic adventures let you see our majestic sea turtles and tropical fish in living color, while our zoos, wildlife parks and natural areas give you an up-close look at everything from rhinos to alligators. It is here that nature is on full display. It's like nowhere else in the world. As one of the largest counties east of the Mississippi, we have lots of room to explore the wild animal encounters that are seemingly endless in the Palm Beaches. Ever wished you could swim with dolphins or get up close to a manatee? In the Palm Beaches, you can. From the Florida Everglades and the Loxahatchee River to the Intracoastal Waterway and the Atlantic Ocean, take a walk on the wild side and discover the great outdoors in a tropical paradise. Join me, James Currie, as we discover the wild Palm Beaches.
On this episode of Wild Palm Beaches, we'll visit a place where native is nurtured and meet some of their pampered inhabitants, including some cool cats that aren't afraid of the camera. We'll also explore the art of nature with a local artist that calls the Palm Beaches home. Then it's time to get wild with Jada and Benji as they gear up for a bike and hike expedition that's full of wild surprises. All this and more right here on the Wild Palm Beaches.
Today on the Wild Palm Beaches, we're at a very special place where Florida native wildlife is rehabilitated and nurtured. This is BUSCH Wildlife Sanctuary. Joining me today is Amy Kite, the Executive Director of BUSCH Wildlife Sanctuary. Amy, tell us a little bit about the sanctuary here. When did it start and how big is the area?
Sure, my pleasure. So we started in 1983 actually, down in Miami. And we were down there, we're a wildlife hospital first and foremost. That's how we started, taking in sick, injured, and orphaned wild animals native to the state of Florida. And the goal is to get them back out in the wild when they're feeling better. We realize that a lot of our animals are impacted by humans. So not only do we have the hospital, but we also have an environmental education portion that also complements our mission. We're up to almost 6,000 animals a year that we take in and over 200,000 visitors that come see us annually. So it's really grown.
Oh, that's incredible. And what are your most frequent patients?
Possums.
Possums.
Virginia opossum ranks #1 historically year after year. And that's because if you think about it, they're a marsupial. They're the only marsupial or pouched mammal that we have here. So if one mom gets hit by a car or attacked by a dog or something like that, that can be up to 14 new patients with just one case. So each year we average somewhere between 400 and 500 baby opossums that come in. Our main goal, being a hospital, is really kind of putting a Band-Aid on the situation. We estimate that about 90% of our animals every year are impacted by humans, and that's why they end up here. So like I said, hit by car, attacked by someone's pet, kept illegally as a pet, trapped in fishing line. And so it's so important that not only do we Band-Aid, but that we're also trying to find a cure. And education really has to be that cure. Understanding these animals, what is in your yard, what the baby season is, what the breeding season is, why they're behaving a certain way, and how you can help to make sure that not only are you keeping them safe, but also keeping yourself safe and keeping our environment healthy and thriving.
What stands out as some of the most amazing stories that you can tell about recovery?
I mean, there's just all kinds of different and unique ones. One of my favorite is actually one of our animal ambassadors. So it's not one that's been released back out in the wild, but it was my first experience with the youngest baby bald eagle that I had ever seen in my career. At 6 weeks old, he had cancer that had overtaken the side of his face. So we were able to go in, remove that. He does lose his eye, unfortunately, in the process because it was damaged from the tumor, but now he's an educational ambassador. not only is it a story of our wildlife, but there's a survival aspect. Children who are dealing with serious illnesses and a story of hope and survival. And not only to mention cancer survivors, you know, there's so many factors when I bring him out to programs that people connect to this animal. And yeah, he didn't go back in the wild, but the amount of eagles that now are appreciated because of him, I love him.
And so if somebody comes across an injured animal or an injured bird and they don't know what to do with it, what is the procedure for somebody?
Call us. First and foremost, technology is amazing now. Take a video, take a picture, send it to us. A lot of times these animals don't necessarily need intervention, but we as humans don't understand the natural behaviors and we want to help. So reach out to us, let us know what's going on, and we can talk you through. Leave it alone, move it somewhere safe, bring it to us, whatever that case may be, we can help you get into the end goal.
Well, thank you very much. It's great learning about the sanctuary. We're not the stars of the show though, so we're going to head out and meet the real stars of the show with Amy.
The Wild Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches.
Taylor is on the education staff here at Bush Wildlife Sanctuary, and she's going to tell us a little bit about great horned owls.
So this is who is one of our education permanent ambassadors here at the sanctuary. He is here because somebody actually tried to keep him as an illegal pet. So unfortunately, he is too used to humans and does not know how to hunt on his own anymore, which is why he has to stay here. Great horned owls are the largest owls that we have here in Florida, and they, being so large, are actually the main predators of skunks. So they actually have a special eyelid called the nictitating membrane that protects their eyelids, and they have a very poor sense of smell and taste. So they are very easily able to grab those skunks, in addition to any other smaller rodents as well. Now those little tufts of feathers that you see on his head, a lot of times people confuse those for horns or for, you know, ears and stuff, but they are actually just little things called plumicorns. They are just little feathers, and they actually help our owls show emotion as well as blend into the environment. So you very commonly see them in smaller owls as well because they have a lot more predators.
And this is a male, right? A female will be substantially bigger.
Yes, so the females tend to be a lot larger than the males because the females are actually the ones protecting the nesting site as well as keeping the babies warm, while the males have to be smaller because they have to be more agile to be able to go out and get the food.
Now, they are really voracious predators, great horned owls, and in fact, there have been cases of great horned owls preying on domestic cats, even small dogs that get out at night. So incredibly powerful, and most other birds of prey would certainly avoid this particular owl because they are so voracious.
Yeah, a lot of times they do tend to be the main predator also to a lot of the other smaller owls and the smaller birds of prey, because being birds of prey, they usually don't have a lot of predators, but this is typically one of the main predators to a lot of the other smaller owls because they're so large and have such those sharp talons, which is why I have this nice thick leather glove, because a lot of times you can even feel their pressure even through this 3-layer of leather material.
So this is an animal, Taylor, that is so well adapted to its ability to hunt at night, right? It's got these forward-facing large eyes, but one of the most amazing things about owls is their ability to have silent flight. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so being such large birds of prey out during the nighttime, they want to be able to sneak up on their prey easily. And also, again, being smaller owls, they want to be able to get away from their prey and their predators. So what they have is something called silent flight. So essentially, when you usually hear a bird flying, such as a pigeon and vulture, it's actually the turbulence going up against their wings, making all this noise. These guys actually have microscopic hooks on each of their individual feathers, which actually breaks up that wind turbulence. And also, they have very large wings compared to their body, allowing them to make less flapping. Combine those together, you have silent flight.
And then look at the size of those talons. Really, really big talons, and that beautiful hooked razor-sharp beak, which will help them dispatch their prey. All in all, an incredible killing machine of the night.
Yes, for sure.
Full access.
Porter, I see you. This is Penelope. She says, ooh, that could be fun to play with. She's like, he stinks. I want to get
Pee
him.
on you. Oh,
Oh, big yawn. Porty, come on. Oh, let me stretch it out.
Oh. Hi.
Porter and Penelope actually came into us when they were itty bitty and their eyes were still closed. Someone had been seeing a bobcat in their yard more frequently, and they panicked and they took it upon themselves to illegally trap and move the animal. And so that orphaned the babies. Unfortunately, we didn't have a foster bobcat, so they were raised by humans and just got too used to humans because that's all they ever knew. And so the decision was made to turn them into ambassadors for their species. And
Cute.
adorable. He
so
still has
adorable.
his claws. Ouch. Thank you.
They are so gorgeous. Wow. Amazing.
Everybody always likes to ask, oh, are they tame? I never use that word. They're tolerant,
Right.
And mostly they'll tolerate us for so long, and then when their tolerance runs out, they are wild animals, just like anything else.
Right.
He says, oh yeah, you're mine now. You might get an ear piercing. That's okay, it's a great story.
He's licking my hair.
Porter, you better behave. Are you starting to feel he's keeping you.
That's all right. Hi. Stay tuned for Wild Palm Beaches. I have so much cat saliva in my hair. It's great. It's a new hair gel for me.
The Wild Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches.
Hey, I'm Benji,
I'm Jada,
and it's time to get wild in the Palm Beaches. So Jada, today we're at Cypress Creek South Natural Area. So up here in Jupiter, right next to Riverbend Park. And one of the reasons that we came here today is obviously to have an adventure on our bikes, right?
Yep.
So we're gonna do some biking, we're gonna do some hiking. So that's what we're doing today, is we're highlighting this system we call the Jaeger Wildways. We talk a lot about our county's natural areas, which are amazing, almost 32,000 acres in the county, spread all over. But the real gem is this connected public land system up here in the north end of the county. 160,000 acres of connected public lands, right? And so they're managed by the county, they're managed by the state, they're managed by all these different agencies. But we've constructed this trail system that we're gonna explore today that connects them all. So right here at Cypress Creek South, we can hop on our bikes and we could do a 25-mile round trip bike ride and never cross a road.
Wow,
So,
that's really cool.
So we're gonna be biking from Cypress South, and we're gonna be going through Riverbend Park, and then we're gonna be hitting Loxahatchee Slough Natural Area, and then we're gonna be hiking a portion of the Ocean to Lake hiking trail. The Ocean to Lake hiking trail is part of the Florida Trail System, and it's about 60 miles, and you can hike all the way from Lake Okeechobee on the west end out to the beach.
Oh, wow.
And that hiking trail passes through this Jaeger Wildways conservation land system. So stick around, we'll see what wildlife we can see coming through Riverbend, meet a few birds, and hopefully have a good time, right?
Absolutely, let's go.
Let's get to pedaling. What we got in front of us here, this is one of these birds that is just synonymous with, the swamp and the marshes here in South Florida. A lot of people probably hear these around their neighborhoods more than they see them. They have this really dramatic call. So this limpkin right here, this is a bird of the marsh, the wetlands and the rivers. They're gonna use that really robust beak to eat things like different kinds of mollusks. Apple snails are one of their main food sources. This guy's out on the canal bank here, and we're in this section of trail that is between Riverbend Park and Loxahatchee Slough. But along these canal banks, there's plenty of forage food for this bird to take advantage of. So while normally you would see these kind of deep in the swamp, right here gives bikers and hikers a really unique opportunity to watch these birds and see them right up close out in the open.
So we've done the bikes and now it's time to do the hike.
You got it, let's go.
Whoa, what's that over there?
Oh, good eye, Jada. All right, so this is one of my favorites. We've been talking about like the icons of the swamp, and this is another one. This is a barred owl, okay? So barred owl, they're a little bit smaller than the great horned owls that also live here in Florida. This bird is, like all owls, silent in flight. Okay, so they've got these adaptations to their feathers, which makes them be able to fly completely silently. They're really famous birds of the forest, and you often hear them more than you see them. And they have a sound that it's supposed to go, "Who cooks for you?" And it goes, "Woo, woo, woo, woo." And so, again, these birds are just a symbol of the forest, of the bottomlands of the swamp. We're right here in this beautiful oak hammock with these ancient oaks around, and this is just perfect habitat for this barred owl. So it's no surprise that, you know, we saw one today, but they are so hard to find. So that's an awesome eye.
Yeah.
Good catch. Barred owl, amazing,
Nice.
amazing animal.
All right, Benji, so we biked, we hiked, there was sun, there was rain.
Full day in Florida, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, what an amazing time out here. Starting in Cypress Creek South, biking through Riverbend Park, into the heart of Loxahatchee Slough, getting to hike a section of the Ocean to Lake hiking trail. You know, I mean, that's what makes our area so incredible, is it's so easy to get really wild really fast. So we did about 10 miles on the bikes, a couple miles on the trail. How many roads did we cross?
Not one.
Not one road. So that's what makes this Yago Wildways trail system so amazing. 160,000 acres of public lands. Really what we have, it's like a national park, from alligators to limpkins to barred owls. And then on our way back, just cruising in here to Cypress Creek, we see a great horned owl sitting in a nest. And all of that, being able to experience all of that in a half a day, is just what makes the Palm Beaches so special.
Absolutely.
You're watching The Wild Palm Beaches, and this is The Art of Nature, where we feature local photographers and artists who are inspired by the beautiful scenery and wildlife surrounding us in the Palm Beaches. Today I'm with my good friend Shannon Torrance, who's a local artist based in Lake Worth in Palm Beach County. Shannon, how did you get inspired to paint?
I get inspired by being in nature, just being out there where the light is beautiful and you can actually get the true colors. So I paint at the beach, the nature reserves, places like that. This is a spot up at Phipps Park, which is in South Palm Beach. You know, these little parks sort of dot A1A all the way down from North Palm Beach County to South Palm Beach County. There are all these little bastions of beauty that you just pull off the road and check out, paint in. The paints I use are golden paints. I've been using golden paints for about 30 years now. I've been painting for 30 years, can you believe that? A lot of famous people, Andy Warhol used golden acrylics, a lot of famous painters that you would know by name. So I figured if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. So I've been with it ever since.
That's good.
So I was doing a very, very large panel. It was about 4 foot by 5 foot panel on the beach. I decided I was going to try to paint something very large on the beach. I get it all set up, and it's early in the morning. My wife helps me set it up, and she goes looking for shells or whatever, and I start painting. A yoga group shows up, and they set up right in front of me, right? And there are 30 women, you know, all women dressed in yoga outfits, and they start doing yoga in front of me. All these men kept coming over, you know, telling me what a pervert I was for setting my easel up here. When in all actuality, they showed up later. It wasn't, you know, the other way. But yeah, that's one of the crazier stories that's happened to me.
That's a great one.
The air quality here is amazing compared to most places in the country. The water is beautiful. If you want to get out and see rare birds like the roseate spoonbill or a stork, you know, or something, you can come here, you can see all that here. There's diversity in the nature that's right here in Palm Beach County.